I'm not ashamed at all of how I've behaved. I've told the truth and I've done the right thing, and it's very inconvenient to the people who hate liberty. Mr. Burns, your hand is up.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Um, so I think as members of the Libertarian Party, we should be careful about, well, to paraphrase the CIA handbook, uh, about it basically details how to disrupt and just like bring down an organization. Basically, they'll send in operatives to basically it comes down to following the book, and they'll like make frequent complaints about like the rules not being followed and forcing to follow every little rule very carefully and making constant complaints that have to be addressed and things like that. So I think it would be prudent to not, as an organization, to be careful about being absolutely rigid on everything.
Mr. Burns, I agree
Although the
with you.
process is important in general.
You know, like, yeah, and I think it's important that we don't get caught up in the little weeds that don't matter. For me, defending myself against false accusations that are disciplinary in nature and against my reputation, I mean, they were calling me a violent terrorist, saying that I was threatening people because I said that I think Antifa should be removed from the LP. I mean, it's okay if you don't like my opinion on that, right? But calling me a violent terrorist and censuring me with a disciplinary action with no due process is just kind of an example. It's not a good faith, characterization. And when I defend myself from things like that, that gets characterized as disruption. Right. So I'm aware of the CIA handbook and I encourage everyone to read that. The reason that's so pernicious and bad is because most of those things are legit things that minority factions can do and should do in order to uphold their rights. And so it's very hard to tell the difference between someone who's making bad faith delays to disrupt versus someone who is legitimately exercising their rights, right? On a committee. And I think the key is alignment. You know, when people are trying to make a difference for liberty, it shows, right? Like they may disagree bitterly over some things, and they might try to slow it down or stop it if they can, right? And that's one thing. But it's different when it's things like the New Mexico litigation, right? If we don't all agree on that, we lose our ability to have a trademark and enforce our like brand, right? We basically lose in some sense our ability to control the party, and anyone can call themselves the Libertarian Party and challenge us in our identity as a movement, right? So, like on things like that, when you see people like me and Andrew saying, "Hey, this is really messed up," there's dire consequences if we don't act, and we could get sued, and we're breaking the law if we don't do what we need to do. It's not because we want to stop the committee or because we want to like hijack anything, but because we're
Well, you
desperately
told
trying to
me
protect.